But joining me now to discuss the latest Tripadvisor Barometer is Doros Theodorou. He's the Commercial Director for Europe and the Middle East at Tripadvisor. Doros, thank you so much for joining us today. Perhaps if you could give some insight as to what Tripadvisor is for some of the viewers who may not be familiar with it.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much for the opportunity. It's been great to be here in Cape Town, by the way. Tripadvisor is the world's largest travel site. We are predominantly a review site, but we like to call ourselves the place where somebody comes to research to have the perfect trip. So therefore, people that want to go on holiday, travelers, come onto Tripadvisor, they research where they want to go, they see what other people have said. People can do reviews on Tripadvisor of where they've stayed and what they've done. As I said, we are the world's largest travel site. We have at the moment 260 million unique users on the site every month, and we have 150 million reviews on the site currently, to give you some small stats about it.
Well, that's quite significant. Doros, I understand you've recently published your latest barometer, which includes Africa for the first time. Why is this so significant?
It's significant because we are, as I said, as the world's largest travel site, we like to look at trends and spends of the people, so of travelers. So we've now, this is on the third installment, our Trip Barometer. We look at what's going on in the global travelers' behavior in traveling, in their spend. And this year we included South Africa, and we have very good news as far as what the outcome of our survey states. We see South African travelers, over half of them looking to travel internationally, an increase from last year. 9 out of 10 look at also traveling domestically. But more importantly, I think they're willing to spend more money when traveling internationally. 30% of all respondents of South African travelers have said that they're willing to spend more money when traveling internationally or domestically to that essence when they're going to travel. But interestingly enough, the way that they will be able to do this is by saving. So they're willing to save in other means so that they can spend more on travel. So 40% of all respondents have stated that they're willing to save in order to be able to spend when traveling.
I want us to touch on Africa's appeal as a visiting location, especially after we've seen so much turmoil on the continent. Just today we woke up to the news of another bomb blast in Abuja. No doubt that might have an impact on Nigeria's appeal. Just last year as well, we saw the Westgate bomb attacks in Kenya, and before that in Egypt there was the political uprising there. Is South Africa, or rather Africa as a continent, losing pace with regard to these negative factors?
I must clarify that in reference to the specific Trip Barometer survey that we have, it talks about South Africa. So the data that I have, the new data that we've just released, focus on South Africa.
I understand that, Doros, but perhaps if you could just give us your view, or rather just a general comment of the tourism environment, given the negative impact or factors that we're seeing on the African continent.
I mean, we hear from hotels because I specifically look after, as you said, the Europe, Middle East and African region and looking after the relationship that we have with the hotels. The hotels are optimistic in all regions, skeptical, worried also, but also optimistic. So that's as far as realistically as feedback I can give of my personal know about with these markets. But what I would like to say about South Africa specifically, we are seeing that from a global traveler's perspective, South Africa is a dream destination, and we have this primarily from the German markets, from the Germanic-speaking markets of Germany, Austria, Switzerland, but also France, the European. They're coming into South Africa and spending more money here and having their holidays.
You focus on South Africa. Will you be looking to expand your research to involve other African states?
Absolutely. As we continue, as I said, Trip Barometer is on its third installment. As we continue to evolve within the region, we recently, actually, I would like to mention, we recently launched the local domain for South Africa. So now by having a local domain, we have 39 domains across the world. By launching a local domain, that enables the international traveler, or the local traveler for that extent, that is going into South Africa to look at what there is on Tripadvisor. They can see more localized content. As we evolve as a business, as we grow within this region, definitely I don't see why in future we will have more responses from other regions to make it a big enough sample to be able to give you the information.
I take it the currency weakness that we've seen recently with the rand has also made South Africa an attractive environment.
Absolutely. Currency fluctuations across the world obviously play an important part. And it's no difference to here. I think it's interesting also to look at it from a South African hotelier's perspective. I think what I just mentioned about the increasing demand that they're seeing for South Africa as a destination, they're now they stated that 3/4 of them, 75%, have said that they're looking at increasing their rates, their prices this year. They feel confident in being able to do so. Whereas actually 50% have also, on the other side I would say, on the 50% have said that they are worried about the economy, but they're clearly seeing the demand, or they are in there from a global perspective, and they are feeling confident that they will be able to increase their prices. Of course, as you stated very correctly, it has also to do with the currency.